Hey guys, it's RobJ here, and in today's video I'm going to be moving my Camponotus herculeanus into a new Ants Australia nest. But just before we jump into the video, I'd like to say that this video is sponsored by Ant Keeping Depot. So, let's get into the video. So, as you can see, they're in a very old first generation nest. It's very dirty and it's become very cramped. The queen has a very hard time getting through the corridors between chambers. She just about gets through. But this is a pretty good time to solve the crowdedness and the space problem. So I have a Generation 1 medium Ants Australia nest. It has been used, but I cleaned it out, washed it, everything years ago, and it's been on my shelf ever since. So my idea is to move them into it, and here you go, alongside. So not only are we talking bigger chambers, we're talking naturalistic layout, and the coloured acrylic will also help the fact that the water gets stained. And if it's see-through, you see all that brown as you saw a minute ago. So, what I've done, and I wasn't able to capture it on camera, was I moved the ants into the outworld overnight. And I did this with a light source and heat. Not too much heat, but the light was extremely bright, and you put it on the nest and it encourages them to move through. The queen actually set up behind the cactus, which is normally their dumping grounds, but following day I nearly missed it, and that would have been gutting, but I did. I caught it. I wasn't even looking, I was walking past and I saw a big ant. And I stopped, got my camera out, and it was the queen entering the nest for the first time. And I was like, that was an extremely lucky shot, because I wasn't expecting it. And this was it. Everything is still a bit dubious, and she didn't want to move from behind the cactus. But obviously the decision had been made by the workers, as they're the ones that control moves like this. But talking of the workers, this large ant here took it upon himself to carry this big pile of eggs and larvae, and she didn't do the best of jobs. Not only did she head the wrong way, she gave up a number of times. Like, she forgot, and then about 30 seconds later she comes back like, ah yes, I remember what I was doing. I was moving that big pile of eggs. So as you can see here, the large one's just gone, left. But then he will return and take back over. So it's rather funny watching them get about this. There's some sort of town meeting going on right now. There doesn't seem to be much lifting, but then the large ant comes back in and is like, yep, this was my job, I remember now. But that's not the end of it. He takes it all the way to the nest entrance, turns around and heads right off to the edge of the screen, as you can see here, and just sits there. And then in a minute, it's going to forget about it again and leave them. And then this little ant comes along and tries his best, but he's not strong enough to lift, so he's got to drag. And when he drags, he separates them. But in the meantime, the large one remembers what she's forgotten to do, was put the eggs away. And with a very almost disorganized chaos, they managed to become organised and they got the eggs into the tube. But I sat there through this entire egg moving of that one balled up batch, and yeah, as you can see, it got into the nest in like 4 parts, and even singles fell off where some of the smaller ants hoovered them up on the way past. But it was actually quite amusing to watch the ants not do something super efficiently for a change. Normally that big ant should have gone a straight line straight to the nest with the eggs, not hung around, you know. They don't know that this is captivity, so all their instincts is to act like a bird could fly in at any moment. And yeah, they would have been eaten if that was the case, and a hungry bird had come along. So, it took them a long time, and there was way too many workers in the outworld, but eventually, 2 days later, they had settled down. Now, there's still way too many ants in the outworld, and I think that will slowly calm down as more of them move into the nest and then sort of go into their standing there mode, doing their jobs. But as you can see, everything has gone very well, and the queen has relaxed, and she is, I think she's been around virtually 4 different chambers, and she's ended up coming back to this one just behind the main entrance. So that's obviously the sweet point for the heat and for the security feeling, and as you can see, there's plenty of room for them to grow into. So I'm gonna see how that goes, but now we've got them moved in, and let's give them some food. So we've just put in some fruit flies, and this is quite a treat for them. They hoover them up so fast, and the other ants, they fight about with them and that. These, they go ahead and just pick them up and carry them away. There's not really much to it. They can take down a large amount of fruit flies in seconds and just carry them straight into the nest. So it's quite an efficient way of feeding the ants. No waste, because they're so small, the fruit flies. You're not getting any of the, say, mealworm exoskeleton left behind or anything like that. The whole thing is carried in, eaten, and even the wings and everything are devoured. So there's no waste. I think you want to get the odd leg here and there. But yeah, it's really quite a clean way of feeding your ants. So I was really happy with the turnaround and move of the nest. But back when the Gen 1 was the current range, they didn't actually do red shields for above. So I haven't got a red shield that fits the Ants Australia nest. Now their new range, they come with specially cut ones. So I've had my eye on the new ones for a while now, and this is a coincidence because this video was planned long before, but the only place you can buy Ants Australia nests is actually from today's video sponsor, Ant Keeping Depot. That is the official seller for Ants Australia outworlds and nests, all products really. And that is an actual coincidence, because this is the nest I've been eyeing up for a while, because they've had the Ants Australia outworld for a long time since I did the decorating video. So I've always wanted to marry them up so the tubes sizes and ports all matched. So yeah, that is an actual coincidence. And here, of course, I've given them a nice dollop of some ant nectar, just to keep them very happy. And as you can see, my makeshift red shield here in the wide shot. Anyway guys, I really hope that you've enjoyed today's video and the ants moving into their new large home, and I hope to catch you in the next video in about a week's time. Thanks a lot, bye for now.